Hey guys, today we're diving deep into one of the most ancient secrets of the universe. The concept that everything around you is energy, vibrating at its own frequency. Imagine this. Every person you meet, every object you touch, even the very air you breathe is made of vibration. It's not just a theory, it's a law of nature. And guess what? The frequency you emit shapes your reality. If you're not aware of this yet, stick around because by the end of this video you'll see the world and yourself through an entirely new lens. Take care of your health, live healthy. Now, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know where you're watching from, and feel free to share your local time too. Now listen to the treatments and measures to improve your health as we begin with the core teaching from the Emerald Tablets. Everything in life, from the tiniest atom to the vast universe, is in constant motion. You might think that solid objects are, well, solid, but they aren't. What we perceive as solid matter is just energy vibrating at different speeds. If you take a microscope to anything, your desk, your phone, even your body, you'd see that it's composed of molecules and atoms that are vibrating at high speeds. It's what makes your reality, your experience of the world, so dynamic and ever-changing. You probably know that everything is made of atoms, right? But did you know that your thoughts are also energy? Your emotions, too, carry vibrations, and these vibrations ripple through your body and the world around you. And when your frequency is out of alignment, it can cause tension, stress, and even illness. When you're vibrating low, whether from negative thoughts, stress, or lack of emotional balance, life starts to feel heavy, like you're stuck. But when your frequency is aligned with your true self, things start to flow. Suddenly, opportunities appear, relationships improve, health enhances, life becomes easier. Let's face it, most of us aren't taught this. We grow up thinking that we're separate from the universe around us. But the truth is, you and everything around you are deeply interconnected. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. And you, my friend, are a walking frequency emitting signals to everything around you. So what's the first lesson to apply in your life? Simply this: everything is vibration. Your body, your thoughts, your voice, your relationships, all of it is vibrating energy. If you want to change your reality, you need to shift your frequency. It's as simple as that. But here's the thing: shifting your frequency isn't something you can do on autopilot. It requires awareness. Are you aware of your vibration right now? Or have you been going through your day, stuck in old patterns, not paying attention to how your energy is affecting your life? This is the key to personal transformation: consciousness about the frequency you're emitting. You might still be wondering, how do I know if I'm vibrating high or low? Well, pay attention to how you feel. If you feel light, peaceful, excited, or in love, your frequency is high. If you feel anxious, stressed, tired, or angry, your frequency is low. The best part? You can shift your vibration at any time with conscious effort. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and start focusing on thoughts that elevate you. You have the power. Now, I want you to try something. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and check in with your energy. Are you vibrating at a high frequency or low? What do you feel? That's the first step. The good news is that you can reset and realign at any moment. It might seem like a lot to take in, but here's the bottom line. To master your reality, you must master your vibration. Everything around you is energy, and when you learn to control your own frequency, life will start to change in ways you never thought possible. Now that we understand the power of vibration, let's dive into something that builds upon this idea: how your consciousness tunes your reality. The first lesson from Thoth isn't just about changing your vibration, it's about becoming aware of the way your consciousness acts as the tuning fork for your life. Essentially, your consciousness is the master conductor, and the frequency you tune it to determines everything about your experience. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good mood, things seem to go well? You feel more confident, opportunities pop up, and even difficult tasks seem easier. On the other hand, when you're stressed or anxious, the smallest problems can feel insurmountable. What's happening here is that your consciousness is tuning your reality. Your mind is like a radio, constantly broadcasting signals, and the frequency it tunes into shapes your experience of the world. This is why you might have heard the expression, "You attract what you are, not what you want." You've probably seen it in action. When you focus on positive thoughts, you end up attracting more positive situations. But when you focus on fear, doubt, or negativity, your reality seems to reflect that too. So, how does this happen? It's because your consciousness acts like a filter, tuning into frequencies that match your internal state. Here's a fun fact about the human brain. It's constantly processing information, and most of that processing happens at a subconscious level. Studies have shown that over 95% of your daily thoughts are subconscious, meaning that you're not actively aware of most of the signals you're sending to the universe. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are all playing a part in shaping your reality without you even realizing it. It's like your mind is constantly broadcasting a signal to the universe, and what you broadcast is what you receive. You've probably heard the term mind over matter, right? It's more than just a catchy phrase. It's a deeply profound truth. When you start to become aware of your thoughts and actively change them, you change your vibration, and in turn, your reality shifts. But don't take my word for it. Let's look at how this works practically. Imagine you're going through a tough time, but instead of focusing on the problems, you start focusing on what you're grateful for, no matter how small. Suddenly, the entire world shifts, doesn't it? This is your consciousness tuning into a new frequency, one of abundance and gratitude, and your reality starts to reflect that. However, here's the catch. Experts still debate whether our consciousness is the only factor that shapes reality. Some scientists argue that there may be other forces at play, such as quantum fields or universal laws beyond our comprehension. But regardless of what's truly at play, we know for a fact that your consciousness plays a huge role in tuning your reality. Let's make this more personal. How do you tune your consciousness on a daily basis? Are you consciously aware of the thoughts you're entertaining? Or are they simply running on autopilot? When you're aware of your thoughts and emotions, you can start intentionally tuning your vibration to match the frequency you want to experience. For example, if you want to attract more peace into your life, you can focus on calming thoughts, meditate, or simply take a deep breath when stress creeps in. It's about actively tuning yourself to the frequency that aligns with your desires. Here's an exercise you can try right now. Close your eyes and take a moment to breathe deeply. Think of a moment in your life when you felt completely at peace or joy. Focus on the emotions you felt during that time. Really immerse yourself in that moment. Feel the shift in your energy as you do this. This is how you tune your frequency. It's not about forcing things or trying to manifest by sheer will. It's about aligning your consciousness with the energy you want to experience. And here's another key point. Once you start tuning into a higher frequency, life starts to respond in kind. People, opportunities, and even your own inner resources seem to show up when you align with the right frequency. It's like the universe begins to match the energy you're putting out, confirming that your consciousness is, in fact, tuning your reality. But here's the big takeaway. As Thoth taught, your consciousness is the tool you can use to tune into different realities. When you learn to master this, you can navigate your life with greater clarity, purpose, and power. Whether you're facing a challenge or moving toward a goal, knowing how to consciously tune your energy will make all the difference. Remember, your consciousness is the ultimate tool for transforming your life. Once you understand how to use it, everything around you will start to change. So, the next time life feels chaotic or overwhelming, remember this lesson. Take a step back, check in with your thoughts, and consciously tune your frequency to one of calm, peace, or gratitude. You might just be surprised at the results. Now that you've got a solid understanding of how consciousness tunes your reality, let's move on to one of the most powerful forces shaping your life: emotions. Thoth, in his infinite wisdom, knew that emotions are not just internal reactions. They are energetic forces that influence the very fabric of your reality. The frequency of your emotions is perhaps the most important one in shaping what happens in your life. It's like your emotional state acts as a magnet, drawing experiences, people, and opportunities that match that vibration. You've probably heard this before. You are what you feel. But have you really stopped to think about the impact that your emotions have on your life? Emotions aren't just feelings in your body. They're actual energy. And like any form of energy, they vibrate at different frequencies, either raising or lowering your overall vibration. For example, when you feel love or gratitude, you're vibrating at a higher frequency. You feel expansive, warm, and open to the world. But when you're angry, fearful, or resentful, you drop into a lower frequency. Your body responds to these emotional states by releasing different chemicals, which then affect everything from your mood to your health. It's not just woo-woo talk. Science backs this up. Researchers have found that the heart's electromagnetic field is far more powerful than the brain's, and it radiates this energy all around you. The heart is actually the key organ in managing your emotions and, by extension, the energy you emit. Here's a fascinating fact. When you experience a strong emotion, it has a measurable effect on your body's electromagnetic field. In some studies, they've shown that heart-based emotions like love and gratitude create harmonious waves in the body, while negative emotions like fear and anger generate chaotic waves. Think of it as tuning a musical instrument. When you're in harmony, everything flows smoothly. When you're out of tune, the dissonance affects everything. But here's the kicker, your emotions are also what shapes your matter, your physical reality. The ancient wisdom in the Emerald Tablets tells us that emotions collapse possibilities in the material world. When you're feeling fear or guilt, those emotions lower your frequency and distort your field, which results in a reality full of obstacles and limitations. On the other hand, when you align yourself with emotions of joy, love, and clarity, you raise your frequency and magnetize experiences that align with your highest potential. You might be asking, but what about when life throws challenges at me? How do I stay positive then? Experts still debate whether it's even possible to be constantly happy, especially in the face of adversity. But what they all agree on is this: emotional mastery is key. And the good news is it's something you can learn. It's not about suppressing negative emotions. It's about learning to move through them consciously and not letting them control your experience. Let's try something right now. Think of a time in your life when you felt pure love. Maybe for a person, an experience, or even something as simple as the beauty of nature. How did that feel in your body? Can you still access that feeling now? Take a moment and connect to that love again. Now notice how your body feels different. Lighter, more expansive. That's the power of emotions in action. You've just shifted your frequency by consciously tuning into an elevated emotional state. But here's the catch. Your emotions aren't just your inner experience. They radiate outward. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, your emotional state is constantly influencing everything around you. The people you interact with, the opportunities you encounter, and the way your body responds to the world are all influenced by the energy you're emitting. So, if you're not getting the results you want, it might be time to check in with your emotional state. Are you vibrating at the frequency of your desires, or are you unintentionally blocking them with negative emotions? It's all about energy flow. Your emotions either support the flow of energy, or they block it. When you resist what you're feeling, you create blockages in your field. But when you allow emotions to flow through you without resistance, you clear the channels and raise your vibration. This is why emotional release practices like crying, laughing, or even just expressing your feelings can be so transformative. Remember, every emotion you experience carries a unique frequency. The more consciously you work with your emotions, the more power you have to shape your reality. Thoth's teachings on emotions were designed to help you master this energetic flow, so you can move through life with a sense of ease and magnetize the experiences you truly desire. So, let me ask you this. What emotions are you choosing to experience today? Are you consciously creating the emotional state that supports the reality you want to live in? If not, it might be time to shift your emotional frequency and start aligning it with your highest self. We've just explored how your emotions shape your reality, but there's an even deeper layer to this. Now, let's talk about balance, not just emotional balance, but inner balance as a whole. Thoth's teachings stress that true harmony, both inside and outside, begins with a centered, balanced state. If you're feeling off track in any part of your life, whether in relationships, work, or health, it's because your inner balance has been disrupted. And this imbalance? It's often the root cause of chaos in your outer world. Think of it this way. The universe itself doesn't tolerate imbalance. Everything in nature is constantly striving for balance. Seasons shift, tides rise and fall, day turns to night. When things get out of whack, the universe tries to realign them. It's the same with your life. If you're emotionally or mentally out of balance, the universe reflects that back to you in the form of chaos, confusion, or stagnation. Now, here's something interesting. Your body is an excellent barometer of your internal balance. Ever notice how your physical health often mirrors your emotional and mental state? When you're stressed, your body feels tense and tired. When you're angry, you might get a headache or feel achy. And when you're in a state of inner peace, your body tends to feel light, energized, and relaxed. This connection between mind, body, and spirit is not just metaphysical. It's real and scientifically supported. Studies show that chronic stress can weaken your immune system, disrupt sleep, and even contribute to chronic diseases. On the other hand, practices that promote inner balance, like meditation and mindfulness, can lower blood pressure, reduce stress, and increase your overall well-being. But here's the thing, inner balance doesn't just happen by accident. It requires awareness and intentionality. Thoth's teachings on balance emphasize that harmony is not something that can be forced or achieved through sheer effort. It emerges naturally when you stop resisting the flow of life. When you stop trying to control everything around you, your internal balance restores itself. Balance is not something you chase, it's something you allow. Have you ever noticed how much easier life becomes when you stop trying to control every detail? It's like when you finally let go of that tight grip you have on a situation, things start to fall into place. The universe steps in, almost as if it was waiting for you to stop resisting. This is the magic of balance. And here's another thing. Balance is about both acceptance and action. It's not just about sitting back and hoping for things to work out. It's about recognizing what's within your control and taking action where it matters, but without clinging to outcomes. At the same time, it's about accepting the things you can't control. When you embrace this dance of effort and surrender, your life becomes a reflection of true balance. You might be thinking, but how do I know if I'm out of balance? Good question. One clear sign is if your life feels chaotic. If you find yourself constantly juggling tasks, stressing over little things, or feeling emotionally drained, chances are your inner balance is off. But even more subtle signs can point to imbalance. If you're feeling disconnected from yourself or the world around you, that's another red flag. In the modern world, we're constantly bombarded with distractions, from work to social media to the constant noise of everyday life. It's easy to fall out of balance without even realizing it. And in this state of imbalance, your body and mind are constantly under strain. This is why it's so important to regularly check in with yourself. Here's a simple exercise to regain balance. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and check in with your body. Are you holding tension anywhere? Are you clenching your jaw or shoulders? Are you emotionally wound up or anxious? Just noticing these things can be the first step to restoring balance. Once you've identified where the imbalance is, you can take action to release that tension. Maybe it's through deep breathing, meditation, or simply taking a moment to step away from the situation. Thoth's teachings reveal that balance isn't about perfection. It's about flow. The key is recognizing when you're out of balance and taking steps to realign yourself, rather than forcing things to be perfect all the time. Here's a piece of good news. When you align your inner state with the natural rhythm of life, your outer world follows suit. Things will begin to fall into place with less effort, and you'll feel more at peace with whatever comes your way. Whether it's work, family, or health, true harmony begins within. Now, you might wonder, can I get back to balance even when everything feels chaotic? The answer is yes, and it starts with accepting that imbalance is just a temporary state. It's part of the ebb and flow of life. The key is knowing that no matter how chaotic things seem, balance can always be restored by bringing yourself back to the present moment, releasing tension, and realigning with your true self. So, The next time you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, remember this: balance isn't something you achieve through force. It's something you allow to emerge naturally when you stop resisting the flow of life. Let go of the need to control, accept what is, and watch as your life starts to shift into harmony. Now that we've covered how inner balance creates harmony in your life, let's talk about energy flow, how vital energy moves through your body and the ways in which this flow can be blocked or enhanced. Thoth's teachings emphasize the importance of understanding and working with the currents of life. You might be wondering, what exactly are these currents of life? Well, in simple terms, they are the pathways of energy that flow throughout your body. These are the invisible channels through which your life force, your vital energy, moves, keeping you aligned, healthy, and energized. To understand this better, think of energy as water in a river. When the river flows freely, everything is calm, and the riverbed is nourished. But when the flow is blocked, whether by rocks or debris, the water stagnates. The same goes for your vital energy. When the energy flows smoothly, you feel clear, balanced, and vibrant. But when your energy is blocked, whether by stress, emotional wounds, or even physical tension, the flow is disrupted, and your vitality decreases. Over time, this can lead to feeling exhausted, disconnected, or even physically ill. In many ancient traditions, these currents are known by different names. In yoga, for instance, they're called Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna, the channels through which prana or life force energy flows. These are the pathways of energy that connect the body, mind, and spirit. When these channels are open and flowing, your energy is vibrant, and you experience optimal health. But when they're blocked, energy becomes stagnant, leading to all sorts of problems. Here's something fascinating. Your body's energy flow is so powerful that it can affect not just your health, but also your emotions and thoughts. When energy is blocked, you might feel stuck in your life, as if things aren't moving forward. You might also feel anxious, irritable, or confused, like you're disconnected from your true self. But when energy flows freely, you feel inspired, confident, and clear. Your body responds with health, your mind with clarity, and your emotions with peace. You probably know the importance of breathing in managing stress. What's happening there is that when you breathe deeply and consciously, you're actually enhancing the flow of energy through your body. That's why practices like yoga, meditation, and even mindful walking can make such a difference in how you feel. When you practice these methods, you're clearing out stagnant energy, allowing new, fresh energy to flow through, bringing clarity and healing. But here's the interesting part. Even though you're probably familiar with energy in a general sense, you might not realize how it affects your physical body directly. For instance, the simple act of stretching can release energy blockages. Ever feel tense in your shoulders or neck, and then after stretching or massage, suddenly feel lighter or more relaxed? That's your energy flowing more freely again. So, how do you unblock your energy channels and promote smooth, healthy energy flow? Thoth's teachings provide a few key tools: conscious breathing, intentional movement, and inner silence. These practices are designed to help you clear blockages and enhance your energy flow, ultimately raising your vibration and improving your health and well-being. Let's dive into each of these tools for a moment. Conscious breathing. Breathing is more than just an involuntary function. It's a tool for aligning your energy. Deep, slow breathing helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your body and mind. When you breathe with intention, you're literally shifting your energy from chaos to calm, from disarray to alignment. Intentional movement. Movement, whether it's yoga, dance, or even just stretching, helps break up stagnant energy and allows fresh energy to flow. When you move your body with intention, meaning you're focused on how the movement feels rather than rushing through it, you're guiding energy through your channels and releasing blockages. Inner silence. Taking time for inner silence or meditation gives your mind the opportunity to reset, recalibrate, and realign with your energy. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a powerful state where your consciousness can tune into its higher vibration. It's in these moments of stillness that you can hear the subtle flow of energy within and make adjustments if needed. You've probably experienced one or more of these in your life, whether through a deep breath that calms you, a good stretch after a long day, or a quiet moment of meditation that clears your mind. These are the tools to keep your energy flowing freely. Here's a quick experiment for you. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and take a few deep, slow breaths. As you do, imagine energy flowing freely through your body, from your head down to your feet. Picture any areas of tension or blockage dissolving as the energy moves through. How does that feel? Chances are you already feel more relaxed and centered. That's the power of conscious breathing and intentional energy flow. The more you practice these methods, the more attuned you become to your own energy. You begin to recognize when your flow is disrupted and take action to restore balance. The key is consistency. The more you intentionally focus on your energy flow, the more naturally it will occur, and the healthier, more vibrant you will feel. Now, I'm not saying that simply breathing deeply or stretching will solve all your problems overnight. But these practices, combined with your awareness of energy flow, will have a profound impact on your overall well-being. As Thoth taught, the flow of life energy is the foundation of all creation, and when you align with it, you align with your highest potential. So, take a moment today to check in with your energy. Are there any blockages that need clearing? How can you bring more flow into your life today? Remember, it's all about alignment. Your energy is a reflection of your inner state. When you choose to nurture and align your energy, you'll naturally begin to attract more vitality, clarity, and well-being. As we continue exploring how to enhance your vibrational frequency, let's talk about sound, a powerful, yet often overlooked, tool in shaping your reality. Thoth himself spoke about the role of sound as the very foundation of creation. In his teachings, sound is not just a way to communicate or express ourselves. It is the force that structures the universe. Every form, every shape, every phenomenon in existence is shaped by sound vibrations. Think about it. Every time you speak, sing, or even think, you're emitting sound vibrations into the universe. This isn't just about your physical voice. It includes your internal dialogue, the energy you emit through thoughts and emotions, and even the music you listen to. All of it is energy, all of it is sound, and all of it is shaping your reality in ways you may not even be aware of. Here's a fun fact. Scientists have demonstrated that sound frequencies can create visible geometric patterns in matter. Take cymatics, for example. When you place sand or water on a surface and subject it to sound waves, it forms intricate, geometric patterns. The sound literally shapes the material it interacts with. So, it's not that sound simply affects our mood or emotions, it has a direct, tangible impact on the world around us. It's a fundamental force in the creation of form. This idea might seem abstract at first, but let's break it down. Every word you speak is a vibration that carries an energetic signature into the world. Words of love, gratitude, and positivity create a harmonious, uplifting energy. But words of anger, fear, and negativity create discord and disruption. And that's just the words you speak out loud. What about your inner dialogue, the constant chatter in your mind? Are you speaking kindly to yourself? Or are you reinforcing limiting beliefs with every thought? When you start to understand the power of sound in your life, you begin to realize how much control you have over the world you create. Thoth's teachings on sound show us that we don't just have to react to our world. We can actively shape it by consciously choosing the vibrations we put out. You might be thinking, okay, but how does this apply to my life today? Good question. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways you can harness the power of sound is by being mindful of the words you speak. Whether you're talking to others or speaking to yourself, your words are powerful energy. Every time you express yourself, you are sending a signal into the universe. The more consciously you choose your words, the more aligned your energy will be with your desires. Want more love in your life? Speak lovingly to those around you and to yourself. Want more abundance? Start speaking words of gratitude and abundance. The universe listens. But sound isn't just about words. Thoth emphasized the importance of singing as well. You don't need to be a trained singer to harness this power. Singing, humming, or even chanting can help you tap into higher frequencies. There's a reason why many ancient cultures have used chanting, mantras, or sacred songs in their spiritual practices. These vocal vibrations are a direct way to align your energy with universal rhythms. You might be surprised to know that sound frequencies have also been shown to have healing properties. Binaural beats, for instance, use specific frequencies to promote relaxation, focus, or even deep sleep. Music has been scientifically proven to reduce stress, improve mood, and even boost the immune system. But it's not just any sound. It's the sound that resonates with your own energy and vibration that creates the greatest transformation. Here's a fun experiment you can try. Put on your favorite song, one that lifts your mood or makes you feel inspired. As you listen, allow yourself to really feel the music. Close your eyes and let the sound waves move through your body. Feel the vibration, notice how your body responds. Does it feel energizing, uplifting, or soothing? This is the sound frequency interacting with your own energy field, aligning it with the rhythm of the universe. And it's not just about external sound, your internal vibration is just as important. What about the way you speak to yourself in your mind? If your inner dialogue is full of self-criticism or negativity, it's time to shift that tone. Practice speaking to yourself with kindness and compassion. Every thought, every word, carries energy that directly impacts your vibration. Choose to tune into the frequency that supports your highest self. Here's another practical tip. Try incorporating some sound-based practices into your daily routine. You don't have to become a professional singer, but you can hum, chant, or sing to raise your frequency. Even simple mantras like, "I am abundant," or "I am worthy," repeated throughout the day, can help shift your vibration. The power of sound is available to you at all times, and it's one of the easiest ways to elevate your energy. So, ask yourself, what vibrations are you sending out into the world? Are you using sound to create harmony and alignment, or are you allowing discordant, negative vibrations to shape your reality? Thoth's teachings encourage us to understand that we are the architects of our own lives, and sound is one of the most powerful tools in our toolkit. In every moment, you have the ability to shift your reality simply by being mindful of the energy you're emitting. Whether it's through the words you speak, the music you listen to, or the thoughts you think, you are constantly shaping your reality with sound. So go ahead, sing, speak, and think in alignment with your highest truth. The universe is listening. Now that you've understood the power of sound in shaping your reality, let's explore another incredibly powerful symbol from Thoth's teachings, the flower of life, which represents the vibrational code of creation. Thoth revealed that all existence is built upon a pattern, a design that underpins everything in the universe. This design isn't just a concept or a symbol. It is a literal map of creation itself. The flower of life is the key to unlocking the deeper mysteries of the universe and reconnecting with the divine blueprint that governs all life. If you're familiar with sacred geometry, you've likely encountered the flower of life. It's made up of overlapping circles arranged in a precise, repeating pattern, and it can be found in art, architecture, and even nature all over the world. From the petals of a flower to the structure of galaxies, this pattern appears everywhere in the universe. It's not just a beautiful shape, it's the fundamental structure of all life. It's the matrix of creation, the blueprint that organizes energy into form. You might be asking, what does this mean for me? Well, understanding the flower of life is about more than just appreciating its beauty. It's about realizing that this pattern, this vibrational code, is woven into the very fabric of your being. Every atom, every cell, every thought, and every action you take is connected to this divine design. By aligning yourself with the energy of the flower of life, you align yourself with the flow of creation itself. Here's something truly fascinating. The flower of life is not just a static shape. It's a dynamic, pulsating energy field that constantly expands and contracts. Think of it as a heartbeat, rhythmic and ever-changing, but always in perfect harmony. This flow of energy reflects the cycles of life, from birth to death and rebirth. It's the flow of creation, constantly moving, creating, and transforming. Now, you might wonder, How can I use the flower of life to improve my life? The key here is to connect with this pattern and allow it to align your own energy with the vibrational frequency of the universe. When you meditate on the flower of life, you're essentially tuning into the universal code that governs all creation. You're reminding your energy field of its connection to the source, and this alignment can help you experience greater flow, peace, and harmony in your life. But don't just take my word for it. Try this experiment. Find an image of the flower of life or even draw it yourself. Sit quietly for a few minutes and gaze at the image, allowing your mind and body to sync with the energy of the pattern. As you do this, take a few deep breaths and feel the energy of the flower of life flowing into you, realigning your own energy with the universe. You might feel a sense of calm or a subtle shift in your energy. This is the power of sacred geometry in action. It's not magic. It's the natural design of the universe. Thoth's teachings also reveal that the flower of life is more than just a symbol. It's a language. It speaks to us through the energy it emits, and by meditating on it or connecting with it, we can access deeper wisdom about the nature of reality. When you resonate with this vibrational code, you begin to tap into a level of consciousness that goes beyond the physical world. You align with a higher understanding of your purpose, your potential, and your place in the grand design of existence. But here's the thing. The flower of life is not just a passive symbol. It's a tool for transformation. As you align yourself with this vibrational pattern, you begin to transform your own energy. Negative or stagnant energy begins to dissolve, and you can access new, higher frequencies that support your growth and evolution. It's like hitting the reset button on your energy field, allowing you to vibrate at the level of creation itself. Think about this. When you're in alignment with the flower of life, you're not just living your life from a place of survival or struggle. You're living from a place of flow, creativity, and harmony. Every area of your life, from your health to your relationships, begins to reflect this natural order. You stop fighting against the flow and start flowing with it. Here's a simple practice for you. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and visualize the flower of life expanding in front of you. Imagine it growing, filling the space around you with its energy. As it expands, allow yourself to feel the flow of energy entering your body. Feel the connection to the universal rhythm, and breathe deeply as you align your energy with the flower of life. Let go of any tension or resistance, and allow your vibration to harmonize with the sacred geometry. The more you practice connecting with the flower of life, the more attuned you'll become to the natural flow of energy in your life. You'll find yourself more in sync with the universe, attracting opportunities, peace, and harmony. This practice is about realigning your energy with the divine blueprint of creation. And when you do, life begins to unfold effortlessly. Thoth's teachings remind us that the universe is not just something outside of us. It's within us, and we are always connected to it. The flower of life is the perfect symbol of this connection, a reminder that everything in existence is interconnected through a divine, vibrational code. When you align yourself with this code, you align yourself with the very essence of creation. So, as you go about your day, remember this: you are part of the grand design of the universe. The flower of life is within you, and by connecting with it, you unlock your true potential. The energy of creation is flowing through you, always. Are you ready to align with it? We've explored the foundational power of sound and the vibrational code of the flower of life. And now it's time to look inward at something that can ignite profound transformation: the inner fire. Thoth spoke of an all-burning force within you, an internal flame that has the potential to transmute everything that no longer serves you. This fire is not just a metaphor. It is a real, energetic force that, when consciously cultivated, can bring about immense personal growth, healing, and spiritual ascension. Imagine for a moment. There's a fire within you, burning silently, waiting to purify all that is heavy, stagnant, or holding you back. It burns through fear, doubt, guilt, and attachment. Everything that prevents you from living your highest potential. This is not a fire of anger or impulsivity. It is a fire of transmutation, of transformation. It's the power of your soul, ignited to burn away the unnecessary baggage, leaving only purity and light. You might be wondering, how does this fire work? Well, the energy of the inner fire is always present. It's that burning desire you feel deep inside, whether it's a calling to pursue something greater or a need to release something that has been weighing you down. This inner fire, in its purest form, is a source of power and clarity. However, when ignored or suppressed, it can become destructive, turning into internal turmoil, anxiety, and even illness. The key to harnessing this force is to learn how to consciously nurture it, rather than allowing it to consume you with unchecked intensity. Here's something interesting. In many ancient traditions, fire is seen as both a creative and destructive force. In the body, fire corresponds to your digestive system and metabolism, both of which transform food into energy. On a more spiritual level, the fire represents your willpower, your ability to act, and your capacity for transformation. When this fire is strong and properly aligned, it propels you forward in life with clarity and purpose. But when it's out of balance, it can lead to emotional volatility, burnout, and a lack of direction. Thoth's teachings show us that this fire is both eternal and powerful. It never goes out. It's a part of your being, a constant source of energy, but it only responds to your surrender. When you stop resisting and start embracing the fire within you, that's when transformation begins. Imagine holding on to something that no longer serves you, perhaps a toxic relationship, a limiting belief, or a painful past. When you consciously surrender that attachment, the fire burns it away, leaving room for something new, something better. Now, you might be wondering, how can I work with my inner fire? The process is simpler than you might think. It starts with awareness. The first step is to recognize the fire within you. This requires tuning in to your desires, your passions, and even the fears that have been holding you back. Once you become aware of this internal flame, you can begin to work with it by consciously directing your energy toward transformation. This could mean setting boundaries, releasing negative patterns, or simply taking bold action toward the life you truly want to live. Here's an exercise you can try. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Picture a small flame at the center of your being, perhaps in your heart or solar plexus. As you breathe deeply, imagine this flame growing brighter, stronger, and warmer. Allow it to burn away any negative thoughts, emotions, or attachments that no longer serve you. Feel the transformation as the fire purifies your energy, leaving you lighter and clearer. This is the power of your inner fire. It's always there, waiting for you to acknowledge it and use it to fuel your growth. But here's a crucial point. You cannot control the fire. You cannot force it to burn when you want it to. The fire within is a natural force that works in harmony with your consciousness. If you're trying too hard or forcing change, the fire may resist. The trick is to surrender and trust that the fire will burn at its own pace, releasing what is necessary and leaving you with the strength, clarity, and lightness to move forward. The inner fire is what drives us to grow, to heal, and to rise above the challenges of life. When you align with this force, you become unstoppable. You tap into an energy that doesn't just help you survive. It helps you thrive. When the fire is in balance, your life becomes a reflection of your highest potential. You start living with purpose, passion, and a deep connection to your soul. Let me ask you this. What is it that you're ready to let go of? What attachments or fears are weighing you down? Picture yourself surrendering these things to the fire, allowing it to burn them away. Feel the freedom that comes with releasing what no longer serves you. By doing this, you make space for the new, the exciting, and the transformative. So, as you go about your day, remember this. Your inner fire is always within you. It's waiting for you to recognize it and use it for your growth. Nurture it, surrender to it, and allow it to guide you toward the life you are meant to live. Having tapped into the transformative power of your inner fire, we now come to a crucial concept for your personal ascension: polarity. Thoth's teachings make it clear that every vibration moves between opposites, light and darkness, heat and cold, masculine and feminine. But these opposites are not enemies, as many believe. Instead, they are two extremes of the same energy. Understanding and integrating these polarities is one of the keys to spiritual ascension. At first glance, you might think that opposites are something to avoid, something to fight against. After all, who wants to embrace pain, fear, or darkness? But Thoth's teachings reveal that polarity is not something to resist. It's something to accept and integrate. By accepting both the light and dark aspects of your own nature, you can achieve a greater state of balance, power, and wisdom. It's through this acceptance that you begin to transcend duality, moving into a higher state of consciousness. You probably already know that life is full of contrasts. You experience joy and sorrow, love and loss, success and failure. These contrasts are an inherent part of the human experience. But what if I told you that they are necessary for your spiritual growth? Without the contrast of opposites, you wouldn't have the chance to understand or appreciate the light. It's only by experiencing the dark that we learn to embrace the light. Thoth teaches us that our task is not to eliminate the dark or avoid the tough times, but to integrate both aspects of our being into a whole. Let's think about the relationship between light and dark. One is not better than the other. They simply exist together. Light cannot exist without dark, just as day cannot exist without night. Without one, the other would lose its meaning. This is true in your own life as well. The light, your joy, your successes, your love, becomes more meaningful when you recognize its contrast. The darkness, your challenges, your fears, your moments of uncertainty. These opposing forces give each other context and meaning. Here's an interesting point. Many spiritual teachings emphasize neutrality, the idea of avoiding extremes. But Thoth's teachings suggest that true balance doesn't come from neutrality alone. It comes from integration. In other words, you don't need to push away the negative aspects of your life. Instead, you need to embrace them, understand them, and use them as stepping stones to your higher self. This is the process of integrating polarity. You might be asking, how do I begin to integrate these polarities in my life? The answer is simple yet profound. Stop fighting against them. Instead of avoiding your fears, dive into them. Instead of ignoring your weaknesses, face them head-on. By doing so, you'll not only heal those parts of yourself but also empower them. For example, if you're afraid of failure, ask yourself why that fear exists. What is it teaching you? When you face it directly, you begin to understand that failure is just a step on the way to success, and that fear only has the power you give it. In practical terms, this could mean taking action in the face of your fear or vulnerability. It might mean making decisions that push you out of your comfort zone, knowing that both success and failure are valuable lessons on your path. But more importantly, it means embracing the concept of wholeness. You are not just your successes, and you are not just your failures. You are both, and when you accept both, you become a more powerful, balanced individual. Thoth's teachings on polarity also point to the integration of masculine and feminine energies within yourself. These energies are not about gender. They are archetypal forces present in everyone. The masculine energy represents logic, action, and strength, while the feminine energy represents intuition, creativity, and nurturing. Both energies are vital, and balancing them is essential for spiritual ascension. When you can balance these energies within yourself, using the strength of the masculine and the intuition of the feminine, you unlock your full potential. This integration of polarity also reflects in the external world. Think about the relationships in your life. They, too, are a reflection of the balance or imbalance between opposites. If you're constantly in conflict with someone, whether it's a partner, friend, or coworker, it's likely that you're not embracing the full spectrum of both energies. Instead of seeing others as wrong or different, start to see their contrasting energies as a way to learn more about yourself. But here's the secret. Once you begin integrating polarity in your own life, you'll notice something incredible happening. You won't need to push for balance anymore. You won't need to control every situation or person. Instead, you'll feel more at peace, more empowered, and more connected to the flow of life. The universe works in opposites, and when you stop resisting those opposites, You step into the flow of higher consciousness. Let me ask you this. What parts of your life are you resisting right now? What opposites are you avoiding or fighting? Can you see them not as threats but as opportunities for growth? The next time you encounter something difficult or uncomfortable, remember that this is part of the process of integration. It's part of your journey toward becoming whole. In the end, true spiritual ascension doesn't come from avoiding the dark. It comes from embracing it. It comes from realizing that every contrast, every polarity, is a necessary part of the human experience. And when you can accept and integrate both, you rise to a higher level of understanding, balance, and power. Now that we've delved into the integration of opposites and polarity, it's time to expand on a concept that is just as crucial to your ascension: time. Thoth's teachings reveal that time is not a linear progression, as we commonly think. Instead, time is a vibrational field, an energy that can bend and shift depending on the frequency you are operating at. This understanding of time as a field rather than a rigid line opens up a world of possibilities, where the boundaries of past, present, and future are not fixed, but malleable. You've probably heard someone say, "Time flies when you're having fun," or "Time seems to drag when you're waiting." This is not just a figure of speech. Time truly does feel different depending on the state of your consciousness and the vibration you're in. When you are fully present, aligned with your highest energy, time seems to expand. But when you're anxious, stressed, or disoriented, time seems to compress, as if the world is moving faster than you can keep up with it. Think of time like a river. When you are aligned with the flow, you move effortlessly downstream, experiencing life in the moment, without any resistance. But when you're out of alignment, it feels as if you're swimming upstream. Everything feels like a struggle and time slips through your fingers. Now, what if you could shift your perception of time and tap into this vibrational field to create the life you truly desire? The truth is, you can. Thoth's teachings remind us that time does not move independently of us. It moves with us. The frequency at which you vibrate influences the way you experience time. High-frequency vibrations expand time, allowing you to experience more in the present moment. On the other hand, low-frequency vibrations can make time feel like it's slipping away. Here's where it gets fascinating. The past, present, and future coexist as vibrational layers, according to Thoth's wisdom. The events of your past are not gone. They exist as frequencies in the vibrational field. Similarly, your future is not fixed. It exists as potentialities based on your current frequency. In other words, the future you experience is determined by the frequency you are currently operating at. If you shift your vibration, you can change the possibilities that the future holds for you. Scientists are beginning to explore this idea as well. Modern physics and quantum mechanics suggest that the fabric of time is not as linear as we once believed. Instead, time is fluid and flexible, able to stretch and contract depending on the observer's perspective. This resonates with Thoth's ancient teachings, which emphasize that time is not a straight path but a multidimensional field of possibilities. But here's the real magic of this idea. You can change your story by changing your frequency. If you feel stuck in the past, whether it's because of a painful experience or a limiting belief, you don't have to stay there. By shifting your frequency, you can access a new version of your reality, one that aligns with your highest potential. If you want to move toward a more fulfilling future, you can begin by raising your vibration now. Your future is not a fixed destination. It's a series of potential realities that you can shift between by altering your energy. Let's look at how this works practically. Have you ever had an experience where you were in the zone? Perhaps during a creative project, a workout, or even while having a conversation, and it felt like time just melted away? That's the result of being aligned with your highest frequency. When you are in that state of flow, you are in harmony with the universal rhythm, and time becomes malleable. You feel like you have all the time in the world because you are vibrating at a frequency that transcends the limitations of the clock. But what about when time feels like it's slipping through your fingers? When you're stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, time seems to move faster than you can keep up. This is because your energy is fragmented, and you are not in alignment with the flow of life. The remedy? Consciousness. By practicing presence, being fully aware and engaged in the present moment, you can shift your energy back into alignment. When you do this, time seems to slow down, and you begin to experience life more fully, rather than feeling rushed or disconnected. Here's a simple exercise to help you tap into this concept of time as a vibrational field. The next time you feel rushed or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes and remind yourself that you have all the time you need to accomplish what you set out to do. Feel your body relax and your energy shift. As you do, you might notice that time begins to slow down and the task at hand becomes more manageable. This is the power of changing your frequency in relation to time. Now, I know this might sound like a lot to process, but here's the most important takeaway. You are not a victim of time. You can shape your experience of time by consciously adjusting your frequency. When you align with the flow of life, time becomes an ally, not a restriction. You are no longer trapped by the ticking of the clock but can live fully in each moment, knowing that you have the power to shape your reality. So, take a moment now and reflect on your relationship with time. Are you allowing time to control you, or are you taking control of your own vibrational frequency? The next time you feel rushed or out of sync with time, remember that you have the power to shift your vibration and bend time to your will. The universe is not bound by time, it flows with it. And when you learn to align your energy with that flow, you too can move through time effortlessly, experiencing the life you were meant to live.